talked about your hair.
Our third question is actually going to be asked by high school student Tim Watts. He comes from Shakopee High School, and he will ask the question.
Creating more jobs seems to be a campaign issue at every level this year. How can Scott County Board bring more jobs to Scott County?
For this question, we'll begin with Ms. Barber.
Absolutely. Economic development is something that's very important to me. I'm a business owner myself and serve on the Economic Development Advisory Board for the City of Shakopee. What happened here in Scott County is we had a number of people come during the big population growth, and right about that same time is when the recession hit. So the economic growth that typically follows something like that didn't occur. Now, one of the things I think we need to do is start looking out to try and expand economic development again. One great step that's being taking place right now, and a credit to the current board, is the First Stop Shop, which is also a credit to scale, which is a way to try and bring economic development into the area. Economic development brings jobs, it helps reduce residential tax base, and can be good for everybody if done right.
Commissioner Menden.
I think one thing that we have to do, we can't keep raising commercial taxes. I have 3 people that I know very well that have businesses, and I check with them, and one of those people, his taxes went up $10,000 the last 5 years. It's probably not that much, some people say, but to him it's a lot. And there's another person, his taxes went from $36,000 to $60-some thousand a year. And another person, and this person worked hard all his life to get this business. He rents out these buildings out. And that was his retirement, and his went from $10,000 to $34,000. And I laugh when we talk about economic development. Who are we kidding? If we keep raising taxes like that, you can't expect a business to try to improve their building. That just gives government a green light to raise more taxes or to hire someone. And we have to lower them taxes. We have to reduce government. We have to lower taxes, and so these people can, want to invest in their business.
Commissioner Marschall.
Thank you. I will also mention the First Stop Shop that Debbie Barber mentioned. It is basically a clearinghouse for all the cities to look at the land that they have available for infrastructure and for industrial opportunities to attract businesses here who not only want to set up their business here, but who have good paying jobs. Jobs that really can support individuals and families and not have to work 2 or 3 jobs. We work with the cities to not only support them, but also to encourage the economic development, because the cities really are the ones who make the final decision. There are tools out there like TIF, tax increment financing, or abatements that encourage or allow some incentives for companies who want to come here and set up their business. Whatever we can do to encourage that and to provide infrastructure for the businesses that want to locate here. It's very important because they're all factors that companies look at when they come or want to come to Scott County.
Commissioner Ulrich.
I'll outline 4 approaches to this. One is we're funding Greater MSP, which is an organization to bring jobs into the region, in the Twin Cities region. So we're funding that. We're part of it. That's one step. The other step is the First Stop Shop. That takes warm leads, helps the city land those leads, leads to jobs coming to our region. Another thing, we want to be as business friendly. We want to streamline our processes, our ordinances, make it easier to develop. And finally, we want to make sure that they have the infrastructure to service these businesses. I led the debate for the 494-169 interchange for funding of that, and when that was funded, that led to 500 new jobs coming to Shakopee. So that's the 4 items I would highlight for bringing jobs to our area.
Mr. Kucera.
I believe one of the goals the county has is to help more people in Scott County have jobs in Scott County. I understand that currently only 25% of Scott County residents work in the county. Full 44% are going to Hennepin County. If we had made it easier for businesses to come here with the First Stop Shop, perhaps ease regulations, perhaps through some tax increment financing, reduce the commercial tax base, we'd find that people would have more opportunities. Along with that, we have to have the roads. So instead of people taking the roads out of the county, they could take the roads home and be in time for supper if they were able to find a job close to their home. Chart in New Prague has done a good job of working with the city of New Prague, working with the county. They're going to get 80 welding jobs. I won't be applying for one of them. I'm not, but I respect those that do.
Commissioner Wagner.
Yes, just like what Jerry had mentioned, that's a classic example of Scott County working with the city of New Prague, with other businesses, with Chart coming there. There are 80 jobs, and they're averaging something like $18 an hour with a full benefit package. This wonderful employment opportunities, and really being developer friendly. And Scott County, you know, just being receptive. What can I do to help you? And when they say questions like that, there are things with the abatements and things like that. You can encourage it. We have got a wonderful place here in Scott County, and again, we need to keep more of these people here instead of taking the county roads out. Thank you.
Mr. Lawrence.
I think I'll be the 8th or 9th person to talk about the First Stop Shop, and it is an excellent idea coming to fruition through the Scott County Community Development Agency. Information that businesses need is very, very important. And when somebody's looking at relocating or maybe expanding a business location in another area, they want information. They want it from one source, and they want it from a good source. In a previous life, when I worked for a major publishing firm during the retail explosion in the 80s, we were actually presenting a lot of that information. And they want one source, they want all of the information, they want it right away, and I think this is one thing that's going to be done there. Talking about transportation too, another river crossing might help. We need better east-west, north-south transportation in terms of the infrastructure in Scott County. And finally, the chart announcement in the Star Tribune today with the 80 jobs in Prague is absolutely wonderful. We had an announcement a month or so ago that the My Pillow company was relocating from Chaska to Shakopee, and that's great news as well. Thank you.
Commissioner Wolf.
Before even the First Stop Shop, about 2-3 years ago, I think most of us commissioners were there, we had this Itasca project, and then it's turned kind of into the greater Minneapolis where we've hooked on, and it was something that we would have taken the blame or shared the credit for if businesses came. And now we have Chart, and we have TriStar, the pillow company, and there's others online that I can't mention here, but the one thing that they look at is infrastructure, or two things, infrastructure and taxes. You know, can they get around? Can they move their products? And is it going to be feasible? And that's how you get business here. Thank you.
For our next series of questions, we're actually going to ask you questions specific to your district. And we'll begin with a question for District 4 and Commissioner Marschall. And you've mentioned already your work on the meth task force. What can Scott County do to combat meth and heroin use?
In 2005, we were looking at the numbers of how many cases were coming through our courts and also to the county attorney's office that were either directly or indirectly related to meth, and they were significant. So we formed the task force not only for education but for prevention. So we've been in the schools with Klein Theater in the middle school age bracket, also some opportunities in the high schools. We make that available to all schools throughout Scott County, and we saw a significant leveling off or decrease in the number of meth cases. So that has stabilized somewhat, but now within the last probably 6 months, that's going up again. We debated changing the name of the meth task force to include heroin, which we do in the education piece in the schools. The heroin cases have been significantly increasing, 180% increase. The burglaries have gone up almost 130%. People who need to steal to support their habits. So the continued efforts for education and prevention are key. How we do that depends on what schools will accept, communities will accept as an intervention, and going into the schools to really get the message out. When you look at meth, they have people who are meth addicts have physical appearances that change. And so it really was a good opportunity to show the pictures of meth addicts to the kids who said, wow. And so that would really...
Our next question is for District 5. Commissioner Ulrich, you have mentioned the organization Families and Individuals Sharing Hope, or FISH. What role do you see for FISH in providing services to Scott County residents?
Well, FISH is a partnership of 5 entities: the faith community, nonprofits, service groups, local government, and business. We partner together to meet human need. And so we have about 350 partners so far throughout the whole county that needs go out to this network. You know, they go out an email, partners respond, and these needs are met lightning quick. We like to say that we meet real needs right now. And as we're meeting needs, it's those partners. It's the community coming together to meet need. It's not government. It's not one entity trying to meet all the needs. We have sort of a synergy. We can do more together. And so we've just been extremely successful in that. And also we're beginning to promote the ways that each of these partners provide programs, services, or ministries. We're making those known also to the partners. Because often cases, each partner doesn't know what the other partner offers or is doing. So we're providing information as well.
Now as we move to District 1, we'll begin with Commissioner Wagner. What impact do you see frac sand mining having on the roads, environment, and economy of Scott County?
The frac sand, it would be the Great Plains, the one that just is in the process of the finals of the permitting process. That particular project, the county has been very stringent with their regulations. This company, Great Plains, has been working with the county now, I think, for about 2 years to get the final permitting process. Most of the product is going out by rail. And if they keep the sand, covered, keep it damp, the issue of dust, etc., should not be an issue. I supported it only after the two adjoining townships, St. Lawrence and, excuse me, I'm so sorry, Sand Creek and Louisville supported the project. And to me, being on the county board, if the township board supports it and feels comfortable with it, that's grassroots government there, and I can support it too. Thank you.
Mr. Kucera, same question. What impact do you see frac sand mining having on the roads, environment, and economy of Scott County?
Prayerfully and hopefully, nothing. I'm not sure that's going to be a reality, though. Star Tribune does a wonderful job of outlining and reporting on some of the concerns that Winona is having with their frac sand issue, that Wisconsin is having. When I was out in the townships, Louisville and Sand Creek, St. Lawrence as well, but it wasn't mentioned, the frac sand was on people's minds. They're concerned about the water table. They're concerned about the airborne dust. And when some of these were brought up to the county board, our current commissioner indicated that, yes, they've gone through some studies, and he almost feels sorry for the mining company. I don't feel sorry for the mining company. I'm going to feel sorry for the residents of Scott County if we run into problems because of the frac sand issue.